How we doing?
It's the voice of Dax McCarty. Are you in the Santa Fe, sir?
I am not in the Santa Fe. Why? Is it Santa I am?
No, I could use that as the lower third font if I wanted to.
No. I'm currently out in Cape May, New Jersey, out and about, frolicking around.
Okay, well then we will not keep you. We will let you continue your frolic after a bit of hanging out with us.
Sure.
So this Griezmann dude did pretty well out there on the left coast in the midweek. What'd you think after seeing him out there going up against San Jose for Orlando?
Well, I thought it was a comprehensive performance from Orlando City, first and foremost. Certainly not something I expected. But look, he's won a World Cup. He's been one of the best attacking players in European soccer for the better part of a decade. He's never played less than 50 games in the last 10 years anywhere he's played, and that is including with the French national team, with Atletico Madrid or Barcelona. He is the pinnacle of availability, and he's flexible. He can play anywhere across the front line. He was a really well-taken goal against San Jose. I just think he makes Orlando City that much more dangerous, and if they can figure out their back line and stop conceding so many goals, which obviously very good start against San Jose, I think Orlando City is going to cause teams a ton of problems as we get towards playoff time.
So then let me ask you, what the hell was wrong with San Jose in that matchup?
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was they came really flat, and one of their big calling cards for the season under Bruce, they just kind of smothered you with their defensive pressure, their energy. They were really against Orlando City, and Orlando just read for the system that Martin Perlman, their interim manager, has them playing. It's really cool to pick up Griezmann and Justin Ellis and some of these different little pockets that they like to occupy. But in the final third, Preston barely had a stall. Timo Werner was pretty ineffective, and so I'm frustrated at the performance, but I'm not necessarily worried. Could just be a sign of a little bit of rust after the World Cup break.
How difficult are these midweek weekenders from your time as a player? What was it like playing 3 matches in 7 days, 3 matches in 8, 2 and 4? What is that like for an MLS athlete?
Well, when I was in my prime, I loved it. I was like, oh, great, we don't have to train as much, and we get to just play games. That was great for me. But you get a little bit older, and as the heat of the summer builds up, and as the grind of the season builds up, it gets difficult. And that's why you need to rely on great coaches. You need to rely on squad depth to be able to rotate minutes, to be able to manage minutes in a really good way. But it's not easy, and I think you see it during these Wednesday games where teams would be playing their second or third game in a week. Mistakes are made. Defending sometimes is not always at the level. So like I am, because there's more goals, there's more excitement in the final third. Attacking soccer is on display. But if you're a head coach, like if you're Pat Noonan and you're FC Cincinnati, you're probably I would love to be able to just win a game without conceding 3 goals, right? I mean, Cincinnati's score their goals, their games are never boring. I'll just put it this way.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Pat Noonan might be trying to find as much shooty delight as he possibly can as he's leaving the field after matches that he's been seeing recently. I did not have Cincinnati and Vancouver putting 7 on the board to start things off in the midweek. That was an unanticipated result.
Yeah, I mean, look, Vancouver has been one of the best defensive teams in Major League Soccer for the better part of 18 months now, since Jesper Sorensen started. So I was shocked. Credit to Bradley Wright Phillips, my colleague on MLS 360. They asked, Kevin Egan asked before the show started, right before the games kicked off. He said, which game do you expect to be the highest scoring? And Brad said Cincinnati.
Really? I did not have that on the bingo card at all. That one is a 7-goal thriller. I did not have that one on the board. Dax is in between cells in Cape May, New Jersey, and he is.
John, are you able to hear me?
I am now. You changed
Sorry.
cells on me.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm floating in and out of service, but that's all right. It was a great game. It was an exciting game. If you're a neutral, you love to watch it. But yeah, I think if you're Jesper Sorensen, you don't love the fact that your team conceded 4 goals.
No, and you're also on the verge of losing Sebastian Berhalter to Middlesbrough. And all of the transfer chaos has already started. Ugo Kuipers, Lewandowski in. Kuipers is like, tell you what, you can have my number. I'm out the door. Berhalter heading to Middlesbrough. Atlanta United being linked to ins and outs. It is chaos with a capital K, sir, now that the secondary transfer window is open.
It is, but teams are making moves. Teams want to, I think, take advantage of this post World Cup bump. I think Robert Lewandowski is going to be a fantastic signing. You made the signing, and you had Kuipers in the process. That's a big loss. And I'm disappointed that a different MLS team couldn't step in and keep Hugo Kuipers in Major League Soccer. I think he's a wonderful striker, one of the best in the league. But, he's probably going to get a nice little raise going down playing in Liga MX at Monterrey. But he was the epitome of class. And Lewandowski's going to score a ton of goals in Major League Soccer, but it's also kind of what Kuipers gave you defensively. He was such a workhorse up there. He was kind of the catalyst for when they started their high pressing. He was just a fantastic teammate, a great leader. So Robert Lewandowski is going to have a lot of success in Major League Soccer. I have no doubts about that. But he's got some big shoes to fill. As and I think with Atlanta United, I'm excited about some of the strikers that they have been linked to, specifically Darwin Nunez. I couldn't believe that he was only 27 years old still. Feels like he's been around for 20 years, but he is still young. It hasn't gone quite the way that people expected from him, I think, in the Saudi Pro League, but I still think he's got a ton of quality. I think he would be an excellent addition for Atlanta United and kind of help them with their goal-scoring woes that they've had this year.
Indeed. One other question, and then I will let you continue your frolicking there in Cape May. Since you have the purple team and they're taking on Nashville, Nashville, a benefactor of Fall Down Go Boom with Sam Surridge in the midweek. Nashville, they're adding pieces as well. What do you think about Nashville and the purple team coming up here on the weekend?
Well, I'm extremely excited because I get to call that game. That's the game I have tomorrow. And I think it's a really, really tricky matchup for Nashville. I look at Orlando's performance against San Jose and I think, all right, excellent performance, great result. You get your new designated player integrated in. He plays 90 minutes, scores a goal. Orlando's going to have a ton of confidence. Nashville, top of the Supporter Shield standings, back-to-back 1-0 victories coming out of the World Cup break. They haven't looked all that great. I have not been impressed with Nashville SC and the performances that I've seen from them in their last 2 games against CF Montreal and against Atlanta United. They haven't looked like that dominant force we saw early in the season, but the sign of a really good team, John, is if you can play poorly and still win. So that is the sign of a great team. I think Nashville is a great team. They're on top of the Supporter Shield standings for a reason. I think that Orlando City backline is going to have their hands full dealing with Hani Mukhtar and dealing with Sam Surridge. But I think that Orlando City, with the form that they're in and the confidence that they should get from San Jose, and especially them being at home, I think they're going to give Nashville a really difficult game. I would not be shocked at all if Orlando City took 3 points from that game.
Who's your dance partner in this one? Is it Evan?
Evan Weston, the legend.
So it is the legend Evan Weston and the voice of Dax McCarty. Continue frolicking in Cape May, New Jersey, sir. I can't thank you enough for hopping on. And
of course.
May they not charge you an arm and a leg to get you your favorite tchotchke while you're there getting lunch and bring it down to Evan for his house.
I appreciate it, John. Thanks for having me, as always.